right, the date is August 20th, 2024, and the time is 18:07. And I would like to call the Frederick County School Board meeting to order. We have an agenda before us. Do I have a motion for approval?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the agenda before us. But before we do, Mr. Atkins is joining remotely. I'd like to make a motion for Mr. Atkins to participate remotely. Mr. Atkins has requested to participate in the meeting remotely for a personal matter, specifically due to a work commitment in Ashburn, Virginia.
All right,
I second it.
We have a motion to approve Mr. Atkins joining on mobile, and it has been properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Okay, thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Okay, so now we have an agenda before us. Do I have a motion for approval of the agenda?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the agenda before us.
Second.
Okay, we have motion has been made and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have an agenda. Madam Vice Chair, what's the pleasure of the board?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that the County School Board of Frederick County, Virginia enter a closed session meeting for the following. 1, to review and discuss appointments, resignations, information only, substitutes, tutors, volunteers, and goals of the superintendent pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A.1, and to review and discuss individual student matters that would involve specific students and particular information contained in their scholastic records, including requests for release from compulsory attendance for religious reasons, and disciplinary matters pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711, paragraph A2, and to discuss reports or plans related to the security of any governmental facility, building, or structure, or the safety of persons using such facility, building, or structure pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A.19.
All right, we have a motion to go into closed session. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. The motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. We are now in closed session and we'll convene at 1900 hours. Madam Vice Chair, what's the pleasure of the board?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that the board reconvene from closed session.
Okay, we have a motion to return from closed session,
Second.
and it now has been properly seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And Mr. Chair, I motion to certify the closed session. I move that to the best of each board member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act were discussed in the closed session, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed session was convened were heard, discussed, or considered by the school board.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Has been properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
And Mr. Chair, we have 2 motions out of closed session. I move to approve the personnel actions as recommended by the superintendent with the exception of applicant A.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion to approve all with the exception of applicant A and has been seconded. Any discussion on that? Hearing no discussion, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Sorry. Mr. Funes? Yes. Dr. Erskine?
Aye.
Mr. Bell?
Aye.
Ms. Martin? Aye. Ms. Klein?
Aye.
Mr. Sturdivant?
No. Motion passes.
Mr. Chair, I have another motion. I move to approve the release of students A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and K from compulsory attendance.
Okay, a motion has been made to remove students A through K from compulsory attendance. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Dr. Erskine?
Aye.
Mr. Funes?
Aye.
Mr. Atkins?
Aye.
Mr. Bell?
Aye.
Ms. Martin? Aye. Ms. Klein?
Aye.
Mr. Sturdivant?
Yes. That motion passes. Okay, and that is it for, all right. Please join me for a moment of silence, and we would like to hold and honor Mrs. Sarah Zirkle tonight. So if you could just join me for a moment of silence, please. Okay, thank you. And tonight's Pledge of Allegiance will be led by our FFA students. So if y'all would like to come on up. Thank you so much.
Go Warriors.
Okay, thank you. Next is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I would like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have an agenda. And we need approval of the minutes. Correct? Do we have a motion to approve?
That was already the consent agenda.
Oh, it was,
Mr.
okay,
Chair. Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry, I'm getting.
Okay.
All right, well, the next on the agenda is the staff and student recognitions.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Awards of Excellence program. Before we proceed, I would like to ask that everyone stay here through the entire program out of respect for each individual who is being recognized. Once we have completed all of the presentations, you will have the opportunity to leave and enjoy the rest of your evening. In addition, when you come forward for your certificate or to be acknowledged as a school, please take a moment to pause with Mr. Sturdivant and myself for a photograph. Then move to the right and remain at the front, and we'll take a photo of the entire group. So now I'd like to call down Mr. Chair and myself as we start our program. Thank you.
Following students from James Wood, Millbrook, and Sharando High Schools competed in the 98th State FFA Convention at Virginia Tech held in June. Future Farmer of America, FFA, is an intracurricular student organization for those interested in agriculture and leadership. First off, from James Wood High School. Prepared public speaking, taking second place, Lauren Funk. Floriculture, the sixth place team, Warren Bowen, who took ninth place high individual. And Josh Hardy. The fifth place team for Environmental and Natural Resources, Reese Justice. Jackson Gray. One more. We also have Carmen Contreras Ruiz. And in floral design, the third place team, Madison Parker. Along with Madison was Oz Phillips. And that's Carmen Contreras Ruiz. Nursery and Landscaping Contest, the fourth place team, Emma Barkenlaw. Riley DeHaven. And Abby Tenney. We have one of the team members from the Vet Science team taking third place overall, Elena Perez. The Virginia State Convention Horticulture Award, Emma Barenclaw. Riley DeHaven. Abby Tenney. Carmen Contreras Ruiz. Oz Phillips. and Madison Parker. Next, from Millbrook High School, the Ag Sales Contest, 4th place team. We have Jeter Rivera, 4th placed high individual. Next, from Sharando High School, Agricultural Mechanics Contest, 1st place state winners. Hayden Williams, 3rd place individual. Blake Snedden, 4th place individual. And Caleb Green.
Nice job, Blake.
Next, we have the Agricultural Sales Contest, 1st place state winners. Morgan Legg, 1st place high individual. Corinne Cooley, 7th place high individual. And Kate Guntang. Okay, with this group. Okay, and Keller Cooley.
Nice job, ladies.
The Marketing Plan Contest, 1st place state winners. Riley Shulin. And Emma Wisecarver. The Agri-Science Fair Animal Systems Division, 1st place winner, Emma Wisecarver. The Junior Ag Mechanics Contest, 2nd place winner, Ward Heffron.
Nice job, board.
The Junior Mechanics Contest, fourth place winner, Dennis Hart. Tenth place in Nursery and Landscape Contest, Lily Ray. Floriculture, fifth place, Madison Adams. And elected state FFA Vice President, Keller Cooley. Now we're moving on to the FCPS Honorary Award. Chase Lehman, a student at Millbrook High School, is being recognized for a compelling presentation given when he was a student at James Wood Middle School. School Board Chair, Mr. Sturdivant, had the opportunity to see Chase's presentation and was moved by his candor and poise. Chase Lehman. Next, we have the Apple Award. The Apple Award is given to a teacher who achieves something which significantly contributes to their school and community, uses creative or innovative instructional techniques, or goes above and beyond for the student. Tonight, we have one Apple Award recipient. Megan Schmidt is a teacher at James Wood Middle School. While on a visit to James Wood Middle School, School Board Chairman Mr. Sturdivant had the opportunity to see Ms. Schmidt working with her students and was highly impressed by her commitment to the profession. Her interaction with students and the ability to explain content went above and beyond the call of duty. Congratulations. And we have one final award tonight, a very special one. This evening, we honor and celebrate an extraordinary individual who has dedicated 49 remarkable years to Frederick County Public Schools. It's not often that we get to acknowledge a legacy so rich and impactful, and it's truly an honor to do so today. In 1975, this journey began at Klein Elementary School, where Judy Greathouse stepped into the role of sixth grade teacher. Little did anyone know that this would be the start of a career that would touch the lives of countless students, families, and colleagues. Over the next 20-plus years, she taught at Frederick County Middle School and then was the gifted resource teacher at all three high schools. Finally, in 2004, Judy moved to the administration building, where she spent the last 2 decades shaping the future of Frederick County Public Schools at a broader level. Here, her wisdom, experience, and passion for education have helped to guide and support not just one school, but an entire school division. As we look back on nearly 5 decades of service, it is impossible to measure the full extent of Judy Greathouse's impact. The students who have been taught, the teachers who have been mentored, the families who have been supported, all of these are lasting legacies of a career devoted to making a difference. Judy, on behalf of Frederick County Public Schools, we want to express our deepest gratitude for your 49 years of unparalleled service. Your dedication, passion, and tireless efforts have left an indelible mark on our community. You've truly been a cornerstone of our schools, and your legacy will continue to inspire future generations. Thank you for all you've done for our students, our families, and our staff. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors, knowing that the impact of your work will be felt for many years to come. Congratulations on a remarkable career, and thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I'm gonna have, can we have Amy look? Here we go. Okay, okay. And real quick, is Cassie Bell here with us tonight? Nope, okay. Thank you. And before we let Ms. Greathouse go, we do have a quick video tribute to play and to enjoy.
All right, Judy, I just have to say it has been an utmost pleasure to meet you. You are truly a Frederick County treasure, and what a strong, elite educator. My only regret is that we didn't get more time to spend together, but the pleasure has been all mine, and I am wishing you the absolute best in your retirement.
Thank you, Judy, for all the time that you've spent with us here in Frederick County Public Schools. You've been a wonderful mentor, a supportive colleague, and even a therapist in times that I needed to talk through gifted quirkiness with my own child. I want to leave you with a quote, and it's from A.A. Milne, Winnie the Pooh, and he says that love is taking a few steps backwards, maybe even more, to give way to the happiness of the person you love. Thank you, Judy, for giving me the wings to fly, and thank you for loving us all. Have a great retirement.
That was all part of the plan, Judy.
We'll be sure to share this out and to share it with Dr. Greathouse as well. So we'll share it on our social media and share it on our different channels. We'll be sure to get this out to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's all we had.
And Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a brief motion for a a full motion for a brief recess of about 5 minutes for bio break. And for the rest of the students that are here, that were here for the awards, you guys are, of course, free to go about your evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Wait a minute.
Mr. Chair, make a motion.
So the motion has been made to take a brief, what would we say, 5-minute recess?
Recess.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Okay, we're back from our brief recess. Next thing up is citizen comments. The Frederick County
Mr.
School.
Chair.
Actually, Mr. Chair.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If
I'm
I may.
getting ahead of myself again.
Mr. Chair, there was one thing we missed coming out of closed session. I'd like to go
Yes,
ahead and
Madam
motion
Chair.
for that
Madam
now. And Mr. Chair, I'd like to motion that we approve the crisis management plan for fiscal years 2024, 2025.
Okay, motion was made to approve the
Second.
price, and been properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now, we're at the point for citizen comments. Frederick County School Board is pleased to receive public comments at each monthly meeting from members of the public, which include residents of Frederick County, Virginia, including residents of Winchester City, Virginia, FCPS students, parental and legal guardians of FCPS students, FCPS employees, and businesses located within Frederick County, Virginia. Individuals speaking to the board will be allotted 3 minutes. Those individuals representing groups or organizations will be allotted 5 minutes with one representative per group. Upon recognition by the chair, the speaker should approach the podium to speak to the school board. Speakers are expected to show appropriate courtesy to the school board, and the school board is committed to showing respect and courtesy to all citizens. Comments that are not protected under the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution will not be tolerated. This includes comments that are vulgar, obscene, threatening, and comments that are intended to incite violence or other breaches of the peace. Members of the audience are not permitted to interrupt the speaker or meeting by asking questions or making comments. Violation of the guidelines will result in the chair ruling the speaker out of order. Continued violations will result in the removal from the premises. The chair has discretion concerning public participation at school board meetings. School board meetings are tape recorded for the purpose of clarification, and the development of official minutes. First on the list is Vaughn S. Whitaker.
I'd like to pass. I have fellow citizens that will be speaking the same points.
Okay. Next is James Mulder.
Thank you, school board. I was going to start off a different way, but all the awards and the presentation of the proud parents, the proud school board, could not have expressed my point that I'm about to make even more. My point is, I'd like to ask the chair why he didn't recognize his own daughter last month when she was recognized as a new employee. I can only imagine, was it above board? We don't know. Now, Mr. Chair, I'd also like to tell you that I remember your campaign promises from a year ago. You were against fourth high school, you were for getting the books out of the school, and you were against a woke agenda. I don't know how many books have been removed from the schools, haven't heard of any being removed. You turned your vote and you voted for the fourth high school after you campaigned against the fourth high school. We, the people that voted for you, I went out and knocked on doors, handed out the pamphlets, the cards, talked about his talking points to my neighbors, my friends, everybody in my district that I could, talk to people in other districts for other school board members that were hired, told them the same things, that Scott Studevant was against the fourth high school. Most of your constituents was against the fourth high school, but you come up here and you changed your vote and nobody knows why or wants to, and everybody wants to know why. Was it because of the hiring of your daughter? I don't know. Nobody's spoken or commented on it. And yeah, and the other point, now when I see my neighbors and stuff like that, I've already had a couple of them ask me, And I had to look at him like I had egg on my face for talking out, speaking up to help him get elected. The morning of the election, I even came out at 20 after 6 on my way to work. He was right outside the fire department. Probably didn't recognize me, know who I was, but I walked up, congratulated him, and I wished him well. Well, now I wished I could take that time back from what I did. Thank you.
Okay. Next is Greg Hewitt.
Greg Hewitt from Gainsborough District. Good evening, Chairman and Superintendent Hummer, and the rest of the board. The Winchester Star had an article a week or so ago explaining that the pornographic books in schools would be removed, and then it went on to say that youth were no longer having to look at that because the books were either stolen or misplaced or no longer in the schools. And you made a campaign promise, I'm following the last guy, that said that you were going to remove these books. Well, that's not a policy change if you drop the ball and just ignore the policy change for elementary schools. We just don't need pornographic books in elementary schools, and I was hoping you'd follow through on that, although according to the newspaper article, it doesn't appear that you did. And then on a second note, Dr. Hummer, you have been approached about a second grade teacher at Apple Pie Ridge School that is in the process of transitioning, and Principal Dodd should probably be held responsible for that, or somebody should be held responsible for that. I happen to have, my grandson is in second grade where that teacher is now involved, and we need to figure out, there are a lot of options, and we need to figure out what's the best option for his situation, my situation, and see how it worked. Thank you.
Next is J.P. Templeton.
Good evening, excuse me. Good evening, esteemed members of the school board, Dr. Hummer, faculty, parents, and concerned citizens. I'm Pat Templeton. I'm the youth programs chairman at VFW Post 2123. I stand before you today to advocate for the endorsement of the Veterans of Foreign Wars essay contest within our school district. I feel by supporting these initiatives, we can foster patriotism and encourage meaningful engagement among our students. It is my belief that through these actions, we can build a stronger, more connected community. The Voice of Democracy audio essay program provides high school students with an opportunity to express themselves in a democratic and patriotic themed recorded essay. Each year, nearly 25,000 9th through 12th grade students across the country enter to win a share of more than $1 million in educational scholarships and incentives awards through the program. The theme this year is America Today Our Forefathers' Vision? The top prize in the contest is $35,000 of that $1 million that's out there. And we at Post 2123 award our local winner $500 and second prize $200, third $100. We're working to get those numbers up, second and third, but we have to get help for that. Additionally, each year, about 70,000 students through 6th through 8th grade enter the VFW's Patriots Pen Youth Essay Contest for a chance to win their share in that $1 million state and national awards. The 24-25 theme is My Voice in America's Democracy. Top prize nationally is $5,000, and we at VFW Post 2123 again award $500 to our local winner. We also sponsor an art challenge contest for elementary students. We ask each school to submit 3 entries Top prize here is $100, and the winner is often as not decided not by the art, but we ask them to put a description of the art on it, and as often as not, it's that description and the writing of that makes the difference. Through these contests, all roughly 15,000 Frederick County Public School students have a chance to refine their abilities in researching, organizing their thoughts, and presenting arguments coherently. These skills are not only vital to academic success, but also transferable to various aspects of their lives, their college applications, future careers, and day-to-day communications. Frankly, participation also provides a sense in the veterans community that we are in fact still serving, okay? And that's important for people to feel that they still have something to contribute in life beyond their past military service. Our awards those awards, along with our Teacher of the Year and Scout of the Year, will be presented at our 10th Annual Youth and Education Awards on Wednesday, March 12th at Shenandoah University School of Business, where over $3,000 in cash and prizes will be awarded. I humbly request that the County School Board of Frederick County, Virginia, endorse these contests and encourage our schools locally to be involved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for your service.
Next is Robert Galilee.
Good evening, Board. Robert Galilee, Back Creek District. I'm here to share my opinion. Hate damages you more than the subject of your hate, and it should be avoided for selfish reasons. I feel bad for someone who perhaps has wanted to be a teacher for a long time and is now the subject of controversy. But I'm here to speak because the protection of our children's innocent minds trumps an adult's feelings. I'd like to read from the Code of Conduct here. Professional teaching staff responsibilities. Teachers are responsible for stimulating maximum learning by their students by providing a good environment and by guiding sound curriculum experiences and activities in the classroom, school, and community. Teachers have a lasting influence upon the lives of our students, and teachers are obligated to set a standard of professional conduct that will promote respect from students. Teachers' relationship with students, demand of respect, correct use of grammar and expressions, dress, and moral habit will aid in promoting better student-teacher relationships. It is therefore important that teachers subscribe to a code of ethics reflecting the highest degree of professional and moral standards. If a student cannot wear clothing that promotes a view or ideology, then why can a man wear a dress and promote a fictitious ideology that you can override our Creator's design and choose your gender? You cannot. A woman was designed by our Creator to birth and mother children. There's no amount of filleting, drilling, and stitching that can make a man into a woman. This make-believe nonsense does not belong in a second-grade classroom. People are scared to speak out. They say they could lose their job. My question is, if you cannot speak the truth without fear, how much more will we take, and how much longer do we have? If we cannot trust a public school with our children, we must create alternatives that people can't afford. People are working on that, and if you will help or need an alternative, you can find me at these meetings or Board of Supervisors meetings. Thank you for your service, Board.
Brad Day.
Ready, Tyler? Take it over. Members of the board, Dr. Hummer, thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Brad Day. We live in the Gainsborough district, Dr. Phineas. So it's my son Tyler, and I've spoken to a few of you already over the phone. Appreciate everybody's support about the issue regarding 8th graders in Frederick County Public Schools being able to try out and participate in JV sports in the high schools. As many of you may have already heard already, this policy or this rule that we have here at the Frederick County Public School System is not in line with the City of Winchester, Clark County, Warren County, I think Shenandoah County, many other counties. So as a parent of an eighth grader who has the potential to do well in a particular sport, baseball, I'm asking you to be in favor and advocate for the change in this rule as we move forward. I know I've had no resistance whatsoever from any of the stakeholders so far, so I really appreciate that, and Tyler would really appreciate it. And I have two younger girls that soccer is also an issue that would be affected as well by this rule change, people that are interested in that sort of thing. So thank you very much for your time. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to entertain that either by phone call or email or whatever, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tammy Canfield, did I say that right?
Good evening, Board of Supervisors. I'm Tammy from Canfield from Stonewall District. I'm not sure if any of you are aware of the 10-point strategy of the New World Order by Alice Bailey. Number 1 is to take God and prayer out of education system. Number 2 is to reduce parental authority over our children. Number 3 is to destroy the traditional Christian family structure. Number 4, if sex is free, make abortion legal and easy. Number 5, make divorce easy and legal. Free people from the concept of marriage for life. Number 6, make homosexuality an alternative lifestyle. Number 7, debase art, make it run mad. Number 8, use media to promote and change mindset. Number 9, create an interfaith movement. Number 10, get governments to make all these laws and get the church to endorse these changes. By hiring a trans teacher, it is fulfilling this agenda. And one thing that especially the liberals say, oh, separation of church and state, separation of church and state. This is a Marxist ideology. This is communism. This is what is being pushed in our schools. And the agenda, if you didn't notice, is pretty much fulfilled and complete. This is hiring him was a part of an agenda. It was not about compassion, because love speaks no lies. How is he going to tell the children to be honest how about support in science? How can he teach the children that science is good and you need to follow science when he is not living that lifestyle? 6,500 differences between men and women, 6,500. When you change your appearance and you transition, you're only changing a handful of them. If God made us a certain gender, we need to realize that that's what God wants us to do. And then to confuse these children, that is psychological child abuse. And anyone involved in hiring him, and I believe none of you were, but anyone who did that is following a Marxist agenda. You're breaking the law, and it's child abuse. So I hope it's not about feelings. It's about truth, and there is truth. This is an education facility, not a propaganda. It's not supposed to be about propaganda. So reconsider your mission.
Heather Lockridge.
Good evening. That one was a hard one to follow because I can relate with all of that. So I've written something up just because I can stay on topic. I appreciate you guys taking your time to be here this evening. I'm Heather Lockridge, and I reside in the Gainsborough District. I wanted to start out by saying thank you to our elected board for being here to serve and protect our children, and thank you to all of the teachers and the staff that have an invaluable job. I hope you have been contacted and voices have been heard and continue to be heard to a teacher who got hired this year as a second grade teacher at Apple Pie Ridge, but previously hired as a fifth grade aide in the middle of last year, 23-24. I had been reached out to among many, mostly my Gainsborough constituents, and of course those who have children attending Apple Pie Ridge, but have also had conversations with others across the county. I know one has reached out to you in the Redbud District, but many were fearful that they didn't want their voice, they didn't want to come because they were worried their children were going to be retaliated against. I contacted our superintendent, Dr. Hummer. He got back to me and we met on August 13th. I had, of course, seen the Facebook posts, and him and I discussed how most of the post was not very productive. However, he and representing the school board had no intention on removing that post. I told him how I had had conversations with some parents who had been in the classroom in which he was an aide last year, and that I was disappointed in how the students got away with such terrible behavior, and not much had changed since we had left that school in 2020. I proceeded to ask about the teacher, who was set to be a second grade teacher this up-and-coming school year, and he said that Mr. Carver was hired as a male, and that to the best of his knowledge, Mr. Carver is a male. I said, well, according to parents from the previous year, he goes by Maya, and of course, Dr. Hummer told me, well, I don't know what he goes by. Of course, his name is Jeremiah, but all information I know, he was hired, he is a male. I said, rumor has it, he has worn dresses, at which Dr. Hummer told me that women are seen in pantsuits, so there is no dress code for men versus females. Dr. Hummer, you had no idea during our meeting that Mr. Carver was going to be a second grade teacher. You did clarify that with an email. You didn't know his preferred name or pronouns. However, I'm here tonight because of the lack of transparency. I have located a 23-24 yearbook from Apple Pie Ridge, and Mr. Carver goes by Maya Carver in your staff directory. Which was published last year before our meeting. A simple Google search of Maya, according to nameberry.com, which was the first that came up, the name Maya is a girl's name of Swedish origin. So my question is, who did you hire? You told me a male. Let me pause here and say whatever Mr. Carver wants to be on his own time, that's completely up to him. He gets to do him on his own time. However, during the school day, I believe it is very confusing to the mind of these second graders. We've drawn the boundary. So my question is, did you know Mr. Carver was in the process of transitioning to be a female, or was he not transparent either? I don't know. In closing, I want to say I'm highly disappointed in the lack of transparency, Dr. Hummer. I have a tremendous amount of respect for teachers, but if you can't see the writing on the wall, it's not about pay. I'm a former teacher. It's quite possibly bigger than that. Teachers don't want to work for a system that doesn't support them, that doesn't have their back. I feel your lack of transparency has even put Mr. Carver in a terrible position to be harassed and bullied. Clear policies, clear boundaries, and expectations for students and staff. A great leader changes the world. Be that great leader, please. Thank you.
Leila Garcia. Did I say that right?
Hello. I am the mother of a sixth grade boy coming into the middle school, Fairfax County Middle School. I was born in the 60s, went to school in the 70s and 80s, so I know I'm an older mom, maybe a little out of touch with what's going on these days. But I have to admit that I was a bit surprised when I took my son to school on the first day with the dress code. So I did go home and look up the dress code to see exactly what it was. And I was right that the dress code was largely not being followed primarily by the girls. I did not see any violations by any boys. The main dress code that I saw being not followed was the length of shorts. I'm sure you're all well aware of this subject, as I also saw that this was brought up before by many of the mothers of these girls that were anxious, getting dressed in the morning, that they may be called out by the school, that they're not meeting the dress code, as they know they're not meeting the dress code, so they're just worried, are they going to be called out or not? They don't know. So they wanted to overturn it so they wouldn't have this anxiety, but they could just follow the dress code and therefore not have an anxiety, whereas the boys are having a little anxiety over the girls not following the dress code, as my son brought up to me. Just today, there was a girl in a sixth grade language arts class and flex time class that had a see-through shirt on. So if somebody can follow up with that, that was just today, so I didn't have a chance to follow up with that. But in 6th grade, there's also micro skirts, pants being ripped from the top to the bottom in the front, up the top of the thigh to the bottom of the ankle on both sides. He also shares the bus with high schoolers who have patterned stockings on, black patterned stockings with designs up the side like lingerie with micro skirts on. One girl had 3 violations: short shorts, a tank top showing the belly button, and spaghetti straps. My school is also sharing a seat with a high schooler, which he expressed concern to me about. So if they have to share the bus with high schoolers, does my son, a 6th grader, have to share a seat with an upperclassman? So these are concerns that my son brought up to me. So I just wanted to share those concerns with you. Thank you.
Karen McGreary. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm from Back Creek District. First, I want to tell you that I have no skin in this game. I have no children, grandchildren, or anyone in my family associated with this school board and any of the schools. But I am a taxpayer who, although I do not benefit from the schools, I do pay towards teachers' salaries. Therefore, I have an opinion on the issue of the trans person hired as a teacher for young children. Whoever made the decision to place this person, who is obviously a male, dressed as a female, in a classroom with young children, should be fired. I'm a retired preschool teacher of many, many years, and I understand the importance of modeling good behavior to children. It is imperative. I also understand how important it is to keep your personal, political, and lifestyle private and out of the classroom at all times. If you're dressed as a woman, but obviously are not one, that is exposing out loud to children the lifestyle you've chosen. Can you guarantee the parents of these children that there will be no discussions about LGBTQ issues in the classroom or to personalize the room with pride flags? No, you can't. Schools across the country have felt that teachers who live different lifestyles, even outside of school, were not good role models for students, and they have been fired. Examples are people who were swingers, having OnlyFans pages, posting inappropriate material on social media, and even escorts on their time when they were not in the classroom. So if a lawsuit is what you're scared of, don't be. This should be about the best role model for our children, who they emulate, look up to, and at young ages copy, and they do copy. It is totally inappropriate for someone who at school dresses as a female but is an obvious male to be in an elementary school classroom and bathrooms. No one has brought up the bathrooms. We don't allow political banners, do we? Do you allow political banners in classrooms? What if the next teacher is a member of the KKK or a Hamas sympathizer? How are you going to stop that indoctrination from happening? A teacher's job is to teach the curriculum. That is it. You can't guarantee that their lifestyle choices and opinions and beliefs will not leak into the classroom. You're very lucky that I am not a parent of a child in this school, because I would be in that classroom every single day to make sure that it wasn't. Exposing young children to things they are too young to understand or that makes them uncomfortable is never acceptable in a school setting, and it should never be tolerated in any school. Whoever made the decision to put this person in a classroom of 7- and 8-year-olds should resign immediately. No openings in high school, where other trans students are and where kids are mature enough to not be easily influenced by somebody. Anyone think that might have been a better idea? Do better, for God's sakes, and stop bowing down to be politically correct and woke. Do what is best for the students, and only the students and parents. Thank you.
Ronnie Ludwig.
Hi, everyone. Usually I'm not the speaker. Usually my husband does all the speaking. I'm here because Sturdivant needs to resign. Sturdivant has lied, and he told people that I hate him because I prefer Diane to be the chair. The whole world preferred Diane to be the chair. The county didn't get to pick their chair. She's the only person who's qualified to be the chair, and you and I both know it. Number one. Number two, you lied about your daughter. You voted for your daughter, and then your problem is you talk too much. Miles Atkins tried to cover for you and said, oh, he recused himself. You didn't recuse yourself. He kept on saying that because he's your friend, okay? He's a nice guy. Hummer did the same thing, met with Heather Lockridge and said, oh, no, the whole board knew about it. I have news for you. The whole board did not know about it. Linda Martin did not know about it, number one. Number two, you have a recorded call. You called my husband, for God's sake. And you said, I didn't tell anybody. No one else knew that was my daughter, but Hummer and somebody named Tara. Those are your words, and I have it on recording. You broke policy. You need to step down. Number one. Number two, you are a teacher, Darrell Bell, and you've been saying a lot of crap about me, so let's do this. You guys want kids to hydrate themselves in Frederick County, I guess because you believe it's good. It is good. Water is good, but you believe, I guess, they don't get COVID if they drink water. Great. That's all great. So they're all walking around big water bottles in class, right? When you drink a lot, what happens to you? You have to pee, correct? So does kids. So tell me what Millbrook policy is for bathrooms. Let me tell you what the freaking policy is, because my son goes there. And the policy is, my son told me, Mom, in between classes, I'm not allowed to use the bathroom. Why? Why is that, son? He said, I don't know. They're blocked off. Do you think, Teacher Bell, that is okay? Number one, then he's like, Mom, I can't just raise my hands and tell my teacher I want to use the bathroom. Guess what? That is not allowed anymore. So what does he have to do? He has to go to Chromebook and sign in. The child has never used a Chromebook in his life. Okay? Meanwhile, he's crapping on himself. Okay? So then when the teacher, whoever the Chromebook person, they approve it, then once they get the proof, teacher gives him a pass, then he goes to the bathroom. Guess what happens in the bathroom? Can he take a dump then? No, he can't. Because then when he goes to the bathroom, Mr. Bell, then guess what happens? You only allowed to have 5 kids in the bathroom at a time. Who the heck came up with that rule? 5 people. So if he goes in there and there's a teacher sitting in front of the bathroom, so we're paying for people to just sit in the bathroom, mind you, because you guys have refused to discipline your kids who are bad. You refuse to discipline them. That is the problem. And let's tell the whole world why you refuse to discipline the kids. You and I both know why. I did my research. It's because you don't want the funding to end. Because if you discipline enough kids, it gets back to state, and they will take your accreditation from you, and you won't have the funding. That's why. As a result, you are treating my son like crap because you can't do your job. And you said on a call, Sertivan, that you said if anybody says anything about my grandson, you're going to punch him. Hey, you shouldn't talk about violence. It's probably not the best idea. But with that said, I understand your passion. Why don't you give a crap about our children, just like you care about yours? Because that's why we voted you in. Resign.
James Templeton. Mr. Templeton? Okay. Kelly Bada? No? Anyone that wished to speak that didn't sign up?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian Nuri. I came with prepared statements, but you know what? I think I'm going to wing it. I got trophies for this anyways. Mr. Sturdivant, I just want to say that positions can change. Adults can change based on new information, and I applaud you for changing your opinions on where your platform went into where you have developed into as a school board member. Ms. Klein, I would say the same thing about you, that a lot of your initial campaigning went one way, and I've been really proud to say that you're a Sharando grad and doing your due diligence. Even Mr. Adkins, I know you're not here, so I'm talking to an empty chair. I've been surprisingly, I have to give you kudos for doing the right thing for our students, not for a piece of paper. and not for a platform. But what I want to really talk about is the amount of crap that you've had to put up with tonight, to use one of Mr. Bell's words, and the crap that I'm putting up with behind me tonight. And I think that we're all seeing what bullying really does to people, what bullying really makes people into. It makes people into ugly people that really don't want to advance anything around them. They only seek to tear down what they don't want. Ronnie Ludwig made a comment about her son not being able to use the bathrooms because there's limited kids. Well, you know what might be a problem with that? That our high schools are at 116, 112, and 125% capacity. There are limits to how many students can be served in the restrooms and the cafeterias. Yet her husband, under her orders, has made sure that we are constantly looking for creative solutions to our problem with the fourth high school. And as I said before the Board of Supervisors the other night, we're trying to shove 100 pounds of apples into an 80-pound bag, okay? The time for creativity is over. And the time for tolerating bullies, like Christy Scarborough behind me, like Ronnie Ludwig behind me, has got to end. We're adults trying to tell children to be better people. When you have people like that behind me, what are they raising? Thank you.
Okay, come on now. No, he grabbed my sign. No, I want to.
You wanted to speak, sir?
He grabbed my sign. You're the chairman.
I did see him grab your
All right.
sign.
I want to press charges.
You wanted to speak, correct?
We're out of line, dude.
Members of the board, Tim from the Back Creek District. Dr. Homer, as you well know, I've been working with the air conditioning systems, and I found out a lot of things. I have only one recommendation at this point. I believe that you should send somebody from maintenance, or whatever and however you decide, to school or to a school to get certified on these units. We spent how many millions of dollars this year in air conditioning? And I'm not saying they're not educated on air conditioning. They just have to know what the equipment is. And by sending them to the manufacturer to get trained on that unit would benefit and hopefully not make us have to spend hundreds of millions of dollars next year. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Anyone else that didn't sign up wish to speak? Okay. That ends citizen comments. Next, we have reports. Superintendent report.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I do have a couple items. First is I want to thank the school board for allowing us to join together in a moment of silence to commemorate and recognize the loss of Mrs. Sarah Zirkle, one of our own. Mrs. Zirkle was a true cornerstone of our community, and her loss was a tragic, tragic event that we all must endure. We will continue to support the staff, students, and community as we heal from this horrific event. And if you or someone you know is having difficulty getting through this healing process, to please let somebody know immediately. We will all get through this together. So on another note, we've had a fantastic start to this school year that started last week at our first ever back to school tailgate, which was a great, great success. We had over 400 parents and students attend this event, which included free haircuts, free food, and needed information for families to start the school year off on the right foot. We had one little hiccup with the popcorn machine, which set off the fire alarm, which we got through accordingly. So we'll learn how to make popcorn next time, I promise. But it was also a way for us to engage with our families, provide information, and also to be able to start this school year off on the right foot. So thank you so much to our staff, to our community, to our school board members for stepping up to make this event a success, and we are looking forward to expanding this to engage throughout the entire community. So thank you very much for this opportunity. We are also coming up on the completion of the first week of school. We had Transition Day last Wednesday for our rising kinder, 6th, and 9th grade students, which went very, very well. I heard from parents, I heard from students, and I heard from staff as this day continues to be a very effective and positive. Not only do our students, staff, and parents get acclimated to a new school year with less students in the building starting all at once, we were able to make adjustments operationally as well with less of an impact on the entire community. For example, we had some bus drivers that said they had to make some adjustments to their routes, and they were able to do that the same day because they had less students on their routes, they had less students on their bus, which did not impact the entire school day. So overall, it was great, and we're looking forward to continuing with this new tradition next year. Lastly, Mr. Chair, we also had our first full 4 days of school, which students, parents, and staff have reported a great start to the school year. As a matter of fact, quote, I've had numerous principals and staff that this was the best start to a school year in a very, very long time. And the main theme that I've heard is there are clear structures and expectations, not only for our students, but also for our staff. And we are going to continue to work together to move towards that common goal, which is to do best for all students. We're also committed to continuous improvement in these areas of attention, which we greatly appreciate the collaboration with our entire community as we continue to invest fully in our students and we continue to improve. We're looking forward to another great year, and I truly thank the school board for all of your support in making sure our staff get what they need to help our students reach their goals. And Mr. Chair, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Homer. Next is new business. First up is the Student Conduct and Support Committee report. July 24, 2024, the Student Conduct and Support Committee met in the Dr. Melton F. Wright Board Meeting Room at the Frederick County Public Schools Administration Building on July 24, 2024. The meeting was called to order at 5:30 p.m. and a copy of the minutes has been provided to each board member. During the meeting, the committee went into a closed session to review and discuss individual student matters that would involve specific students and particular information contained in the scholastic records, including disciplinary matters pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A2. After reconvening and certifying the closed session, the committee voted unanimously to uphold the hearing officer's decision regarding the placement of student A in an alternative education program. The matter does not require further action by the full board. The meeting adjourned at 6:48 p.m. Additional details regarding the information covered at the committee meeting are included in the minutes provided to board members. Are there any questions from board members about information shared at the Student Conduct and Support Committee meeting held on July 24th? Okay. Up next, we have the Personnel Committee meeting report.
Mr. Chair, you have to approve the minutes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
May I have a motion to approve the Student Conduct and Support Committee report?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the Student Conduct and Support Committee report.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been properly motioned and seconded. Are there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That passes. Next, we have the Personnel Committee.
A meeting of the Personnel Committee of the Frederick County School Board was held August 5th, 2024. The meeting was called to order at 4:48 p.m. and a copy of the minutes have been provided to each board member. During the meeting, Ms. Frickley gave a staffing update for FY24, including vacancies and vacancies filled, as of 7/28/2024, and discussed the years of experience and number of new teachers hired. Ms. Edwards Johnson shared an update in the employee health clinic transition and the annual open enrollment season to review, add, change, or drop health care benefits. Ms. Wrinklers reviewed the 2023-2024 voluntary resignation form, the overall retention analysis, and the top reasons why employees were leaving Frederick County Public School in 23-24. He shared a summary of the FY25 new school-based full-time equivalent positions, as well as the next step in recruitment and retention. Ms. Frickley reviewed time equivalence positions as well as the next steps in recruitment and retention. Ms. Frickley reviewed the staffing standards and shared information about the upcoming budget cycle. The meeting adjourned at 6:09 p.m. Additional details regarding the information covered at the committee meeting are included in the minutes provided to the board members. Are there any questions from the board members about information shared in the Personnel Committee meeting held on August 5th?
Hearing no questions, can I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Minutes are approved. Next, we have the committee report on buildings and grounds.
Mr. Chairman, a meeting of the Buildings and Grounds Committee of the Frederick County Public School Board was held on August the 5th, 2024. The meeting was called to order at 6:09 p.m. A copy of the minutes has been provided to each board member. During the meeting, Mr. Davis discussed capital project list highlights, including the Jameswood Middle School interior and exterior painting projects, fire alarm projects for the summer of 24.
Dr. Erskine, can I pause for a moment? Mr. Chair, point of order. We need a full approval of the Personnel Committee meeting minutes. We had a motion, we had a second.
Oh, did I not call for? I'm sorry. All those in favor of approving those minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I do apologize.
Sorry, Dr. Erskine, thank you.
No worries. I'll just, if no objection, I'll pick up where I left off, unless everybody wants to hear that all over again. Mr. Davis then explained the capital asset planning process and the facilities work order process and gave a progress update. Mr. Kinney gave an update on the Jameswood High School renovation and the Jameswood Middle School renovation of the kitchen serving line. Mr. Goodwin discussed the vacant land use, 9 properties belonging to Frederick County Public Schools and the locations of these properties. He also reviewed the Indian Hollow Elementary School open space maintenance agreement, which was required by the Department of Environmental Quality in order to reduce increased water pollution. The meeting adjourned at 7:07. Additional details regarding the committee meeting are included in the minutes provided to board members. Do board members have any questions about what was covered at the Building and Grounds Committee meeting held on August the 5th?
Hearing no questions, can we have a motion to approve the Building and Grounds Committee meeting report?
Mr. Chair, I move that I recommend the full board approve the minutes, of the Building and Grounds meeting held on August 5th, 2024.
Is there a second? Okay, been motioned and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That's passed. And next, we have the Instruction Committee meeting report.
All right, good evening. A meeting of the Instruction Committee of the Frederick County School Board was held on August the 12th, 2024. The meeting was called to order at 4:32 p.m., and a copy of the minutes has been provided to each board member. During the meeting, Mrs. Swager shared information about the elementary summer academy. Dr. Myers, Mrs. Bush, Mrs. Allen, Mr. Carpenter, and Mrs. Simon reviewed the middle school summer academy. Mr. Thompson and Mrs. French shared information about the Charting Pathways Summer Academy at Dal J. Howard, and Mrs. Johnston, Mr. Barber, and Mrs. Lockwood reported on the high school summer program. The high school summer school program at the Dal J. Howard Center. Ms. Rittenauer discussed student well-being, the system of support for the school year 2024-25, and tiered highlights. Mrs. Jordan reviewed the proposal new policies 333P, English learners, 334P, health and physical education, and 335P, literacy plan, as well as the proposed amendment to policy 620P, strategic plan. The meeting adjourned at 5:38 p.m. Additional details regarding the information covered at the committee meeting are included in the minutes provided to board members. Are there any questions from board members about information shared at the Instruction Committee meeting held on August 12th?
No.
Hearing no questions, can I have a motion to approve the Instruction Committee meeting?
We have a couple of motions to approve prior to that. I move the full board approve policy 333P, English learners.
Second.
Okay, so there's motion to approve policy 333P and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay.
I move the full board approve policy 334P, health and physical education.
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 There we go. Any opposed? That carries.
Thirdly, I move the full board approve policy 335P, literacy plan.
Second.
Okay. Been motioned and seconded for 335P. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That passes.
Fourthly, I move the full board approve the amendment to policy 620P, strategic plan.
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded to amend 620P. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
And finally, Mr. Chairman, I move the full board approve the minutes from the instruction committee meeting held on August 12th, 2024.
Second.
It's been motioned to approve the committee meeting minutes and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Next on the agenda is proposed amendment of policy 608P, advisory committees policy.
Yes, Mr. Chair, if I may, we are very excited about this amendment, and I have Ms. Jordan here who also would chime in on this. One of the things that we absolutely love to do is engage with our community. And right now, we have 3 advisory committees that report to you. We have gifted, CTE, and special education. 2 of those are required by state code, which is CTE and special education. And we have this proposal before you to expand on this. We want to tap into numerous individuals of our community, also tap into maybe some expertise that can help us in some additional areas as well. So the same format is going to take place where there will be committee meetings that will happen throughout the course of the year, and these committees will then present to you information or recommendations that they would like for you to take into consideration. There will be support from our staff that will provide these committees with information, and then of course there will be a school board member that will also be represented on each of these committees. So the 4 additional committees that we are proposing to be added is transportation, budget, technology, and health. And we believe that these are 4 areas that we can definitely tap into some more of our constituents in our community and provide you all with information to take into consideration for approval. So there is a policy that is before you this evening for consideration, and then of course there is a regulation that also follows, which I've provided to you all. So we're hopeful that this will be able to move forward so that we can engage with the community on this. There's also an aspect of this, just like our other committees, where there's an application process where there will be representatives from each magisterial district, which will come before you all, and you will decide who those representatives will be. And that will come to the board in January. So we'll have some time to get this into effect. So I want to be very clear, this isn't happening in September. We already have our 3 advisory committees that are currently meeting, but this will start in January. So I want to open up to any questions, and then Ms. Jordan, if I missed anything. Of course, there's other pieces to this policy, but those are just the highlights.
Questions?
We open for comments? Or we not gotten there yet?
Say again?
Are we up to comments yet? Just questions for Dr. Hummer? Okay.
Okay, hearing no questions.
I'd like to have more explanation about, not extensive, but
Sure.
each one, like health. What does that entail?
Yes, so we have a lot of aspects to health within our school division. We have aspects of health for our students. We have aspect of health for our staff, and we have to make sure that we stay ahead of those aspects. We also have a big push from the state in regards to exposure and awareness of fentanyl, so that could be a health component. So health, as we know, is always changing, and health, as we know, is something we want to stay ahead of. So we definitely want to tap into those individuals. We will tap into ours in student services. We have a nurse coordinator, so we will definitely want to make sure we get those nurses involved to make sure that we're staying on top of things and we're keeping our students, our staff, and our community safe.
What's another one?
So another one is budget. That's a big one. So we will have a committee that will come together. We will present to them the budget and recommendations that we are taking a look at. We'll hear from our constituents in the committee about things we should be taking a look at and considering, and then they will have a recommendation for you in regards to additional things that they would like for you to consider. Well, it would be, I understand, it would be based on needs, not wants. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next.
And then, if I may, I think that's a really good point. Keep in mind that these committees are getting together so that we can engage in conversations, and so that we can engage in conversations to educate each other, and also to take considerations of things maybe that we missed that we need to work through. So this is a way for us to collaborate, work together, and then they provide recommendations. So whatever those recommendations are doesn't necessarily mean you all have to agree to those recommendations, but these are going to be recommendations after conversations and information that we provide them. Because these are led by the committee, and our task is to provide the committee with information as they request it. Another one is transportation. As we know, that is something we definitely need to get ahead of. There is going to be a presentation we're going to be providing you in September about getting ahead of our bell schedule so we can get ahead of students getting to school on time. And there's definitely routes and other aspects of transportation that we need to get ahead of. And there's also going to be some recommendations. Another big one right now that we're starting a committee is behavior on school buses. And that's something that we want to engage with our bus drivers, our aides, with our administrators to make sure that our students are behaving on the bus. We're establishing those expectations, and we're supporting our drivers and aides because they are a very important component of our school division, and we want to make sure that we are hearing from them. And we also want to make sure that we are tapping into others of maybe there's some additional things we can be considering with routes. We do have a couple neighborhoods that have 3, 4, sometimes 5 buses going in and out of those neighborhoods because of the amount of students. So maybe there's additional things we could be considering in regards to routing.
That explains it better.
Yeah, thank you. Of course. Thank you, Mrs. Martin.
Ms. Jordan, just a clarification for me. Since this is a policy amendment, is this the first reading and then we vote on it the next meeting?
No, you're referring to our bylaws. Our bylaws, which is in the 100 series, is the only policies that require 2 readings.
Okay, thank you.
But if I may, Mr. Chair, but Mrs. Klein, if the board is not in the right place to vote on this, of course, you all can push this to the next meeting if you want more time. We've been providing this to you all so you can review it before today. So if you all want to push it, that is the will of the board, if you desire to do that. Again, this isn't starting until January, so we have time.
So the will of the board?
Yep.
Postpone.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the advisory program committees as written in policy 608, P as in Papa.
I second.
All right, there has been a motion to approve and has been properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Sir.
Just wanted to say quickly, there are not a lot of opportunities in school systems and school governance where citizens, we've got a lot of educated, experienced people in our community. We've got doctors and nurses and planners and engineers and transportation experts. There's a wealth of knowledge in the community. Parents with a vested interest, teachers with kids in the school system, grandparents. And I just wanted to say, I think that this is a fantastic opportunity for all of those stakeholder groups to literally get directly involved in the governance process. Being able to get together and ask probing questions and ask for more information, that's about as good as citizen government gets. I think that is an opportunity that is going to be really enjoyed by our community, and I hope to see these committees full. That's it.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries. And with that comes the board member comments.
Mr. Chair.
Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you. I do have some comments. So first of all, I'd like to thank the public for coming out tonight and for those of you tuning in on YouTube. I would also like to thank you for the grace you have given all of us new folks here on the board. This has been a learning curve, and I'm starting to get a little more comfortable in this seat. So thank you so much for that. In the meantime, in the 7 months that I've been in this seat, Dr. Hummer and I have used this analogy several times during our one-on-ones. Every time we flip over a rock, we find worms. So we found some worms. And one of those things that we found was the way that we were hiring And that is one thing that is going to change. Previously, the board would vote for the approval of those individuals after they'd already started, and that is going to be changed. So there are things coming down the pipe. We are making changes when we see them as far as improving our practices so that we have a full idea of the quality of people that we are bringing on board. We want Frederick County to be the creme de la creme of the schools in Virginia. Virginia schools are ranked number 9 in the country. We want to help them become number 1, and that is one method that this board is taking to do that. So thank you, Dr. Hummer, and your team in advance for crafting and redoing that policy.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So, again, also I have a call to action, if you will, to the parents out there, as well as people who do not have children in this system. Each parent, each one of you, you are paying tuition through your tax dollars for this school. For those of you who do not have children here in the school system, you are still paying tuition for our students in these schools. I consider it almost like a private school tuition, and I think you should as well. It is your money going towards these schools. That being said, you not only have a say, you have the say as to what happens in these schools. That's why we're here. We are here to listen to you. I want my phone going off. I want my email inbox filled. I want text messages. I want information. We have 21 facilities in this school district. We can't get to all of them. I've been to a few of them. I'm good, but I'm not that good. We need eyes and ears. We need your opinions. We need to know how you feel. It is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are your indelible rights in this country. And you, as a parent and as a taxpayer, have rights as to how your tax money is spent. So we want to hear from you. Thank you for coming out tonight. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Erskine, please.
So I hadn't originally planned this, so I'll start with the lightest stuff first for Dr. Greathouse. For those of you for the very few people who don't know her, who haven't worked for her, Dr. Greathouse is probably one of the quintessential educators that I think about when I think about being a teacher and being an administrator. A couple decades more than I want to admit ago, when I was still in high school, Dr. Greathouse had a profound influence on my friend groups, the people in my school. Some of these people have gone on to be successful surgeons, very, very successful people who track a lot of their motivation back to her. Right when I thought I had figured it all out, then I come back to the school system as an employee and I keep learning from her. I have yet to hear Judy say no. Hey, would you help me with? The answer is always yes. She's worn every hat I could think of. And so I just wanted to take a second, even though you deserve that. And I just wanted to say thank you, both from a former student and from a member of the board. So the second thing is that I want to clear up a couple of factual errors that I've heard this evening. The first is just because I think that the public deserves to know how the sausage is made. And the first, you may remember, I'm still relatively new. One of the first meetings I was able to participate in, we got to the personnel agenda. And I think that the public needs to understand that we ask a lot of probing questions behind closed doors. We have a fantastic school system attorney advising the board, and she's probably tired of me asking questions. Before anybody could say anything, conflicts of interest are immediately brought to our attention. They're both self-reported, and they're also disclosed to us by Dr. Hummer. Nothing, I can speak for me, not anybody else, nothing was hidden from me before I cast a vote on any personnel action. If it was, that's news to me. So I just want to be very clear about what was disclosed versus what was hidden. Nothing was hidden from me, and it was probably one of the most ethical and full disclosure processes I've seen in a school system. The second would be, I appreciate Supervisor Lockridge and a couple of other people bringing some things to my attention I was not aware of. All of the questions I've asked so far about the situation at Apple Pie have been answered. I have concerns after some of the comments I've heard tonight about the veracity of the information that was given to our school system leadership. Not the information they gave to me. I think they gave me the best information they had. but now I have cause for concern about what I think is a matter ripe for review. So I just want the constituents out there to know, whether you're in Redbud or not, I really do, I hear you. I'm reading the emails. I was returning a voicemail in the middle of cafeteria duty today, and the kids thought I was breaking the cell phone policy, but I was trying to be a good citizen. We really do hear you. We respond, and I want you to know that the action doesn't stop just because this meeting ends tonight. So respectfully, thank you very much to everybody.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Funes.
I feel that the constituents of Gainesborough, which I represent, have brought up a very valid point. We've been speaking about oversight to new employees, and evidently something fell through the crack. Teachers, as been stated, are responsible for stimulating max learning for the students by providing a good environment. They are called to and obliged to set standards and proficiency conduct that promotes respect from the students. This has all been said before, but the teacher represents a mature outlook, and when they see that the teacher is confused, it doesn't help the students in their learning process. I'm glad that it was brought up. It needs to be addressed. We've been talking about it today at our closed meeting. We're going to be reviewing and vetting new individuals to come into the school system. Don't give up on how you feel. Express yourselves. We're working as best we can, and we will make changes. That's all I got to say.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Atkins.
Hey, I wanted to go ahead and start off by, of course, congratulating all the students and staff recognitions that we had this evening. It's amazing what we're doing here at Frederick County Public Schools. It's been a great start to the school year for most every school. I got to join you, Dr. Hummer, on the first day of school and touring a few schools. Good to see our teachers back in action. I know they were excited for a good first day. You know, we had a lot of citizen comments tonight, you know, addressing some concerns. I would like to look into the bathroom situation over at Millbrook. That's the first I've heard of it. It's new on my radar. But yeah, I know I've been getting a lot of emails and talked with a lot of constituents and families of Apple Pie, not my district, but parents still have concerns throughout the county. Now, I know that first and foremost, I want to go ahead and thank the staff over at Apple Pie for making this teacher feel safe and secure and welcome on their first day. Well, I guess they've been there for a while, so it's not really their first day, but first day as a permanent teacher. However, I definitely have to agree with some of the parents. I have concerns as well about our hiring practices and what we're doing here. I know that the board, we talked about how we're going to take a look at that on individual conversations, and touched on it just a little bit earlier. There does need to be accountability held on how we're doing those hiring practices. And like Ms. Klein said, as we go through, we're turning over rocks. Dr. Hummer's doing a real good job of helping us to right the ship here at Frederick County Public Schools. I know that things were kind of in shambles, grades were falling, and culture was diminishing before he took over. Glad to see that it's starting to come up, but we will keep an ever-watchful eye and do what's right for the citizens of this county. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Atkins. Mr. Bell?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. First, I would like to address Dr. Greathouse on a personal note. My son has had the pleasure of joining the Bragg summer program since he was, I believe, in fifth grade, my goodness. So he has been with you for 7 years. And the motivation and inspiration that you've provided to him is incalculable. And I can't appreciate you enough for what you've given to my son and to our family. So I want to say thank you from a personal level. Thank you. And I want to thank everyone for coming out today and for expressing their opinions. I value this very, very much. As a matter of fact, on Sunday this weekend at 2 p.m., I'll be at Anthony's Pizza, and you're welcome to join me. I host schoolhouse chats every month. Generally, I go to Anthony's simply because they allow me to. Mrs. Ludwig, I appreciate your comments and for bringing to my attention the situation at Millbrook. I intend to fully look into it and determine why, if there is any reason to the bathroom policy at Millbrook. Also, Dr. Hummer, is this policy in any of our other high schools? A similar policy?
I'm not aware of any policy. It's something we can definitely look into. I know there is definitely some traffic issues at all 3 of our high schools. We met with our principals last year in regards to helping with that. But one of the things we made very clear to our principals is that we should not be not permitting students to use the restroom. So if that is happening, again, thank you for bringing that to our attention, and we need to look into that because this is the first we're hearing of there being any issues, and if there are, we need to fix that because that's not okay if students are not allowed to use the restroom, and we were very, very clear on that when we rolled out this structure.
Sure. And there should definitely not be a limit to the number of students being allowed to use the restroom. I teach in Berryville and Clark County, so I don't work in the Frederick County Public Schools. I can only tell you what goes on in Sharando, specifically because of my daughter and my son go there, but I'm really happy to hear comments like this because it brings it to my attention, and like Miles, I intend to fully look into it, and I will. So I really appreciate you bringing that to my attention, Mrs. Ludwig. And then finally, with the situation at Redbud? Apple Pie Ridge, sorry. At Apple Pie Ridge. Dr. Hummer, can you explain to all of us the federal implications if we were to not hire a person because of their particular lifestyle or pensions, if any?
Well, all I can share about that is we are an equal opportunity employer. I mean, I think that's to sum up your question, sir.
Okay. That being said, we can't not hire someone because of LGBTQ, because they're black, because they're white, because they're purple, because they're green. That's a federal guideline that we have to follow. However, if this person misrepresented themselves, then that's something completely different, and that's something we should look into with any person, regardless. And that's something that I can guarantee our board is going to look into. So I appreciate you bringing that to our attention, Mrs. Lockridge. You know, we don't have to agree on anything under the sun, but we also have to be mindful to take care of our students, take care of our teachers, and take care of our residents. And if someone's going to misrepresent themselves, whether they are a different lifestyle, a different ethnicity, a different whatever, then that's something that needs to be looked into because that's not okay. If they're misrepresenting themselves because through what colleges they went to or where they worked, that's the same thing. We have to look into that and do our due diligence to make sure that the person that we've put in place in front of our students is the person that we thought we put in front of our students, if that makes sense. And I like the idea that Mrs. Klein has advocated for, with the idea that we look into these new employees before we hire them so that we can have a chance to at least get to know them before they even get in front of your students. Lastly, sorry. I also want to, and to end on a positive note, I would like to congratulate the students from all of the different schools from the agricultural program. I am partial to the Sharando program because, well, it's Sharando. And I can honestly say, and I'm going to give a shout out to Kim Black, if you know who she is, Kim Black is the agricultural teacher at Ayler. And I will tell you honestly, without her support and what she has done for these students, they would not be as successful in Shrando as they are. So a big shout out to Kim Black for that. You can clap. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the time.
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Martin.
I would also like to congratulate all the parents that showed up tonight and citizens and those of you listening on YouTube. It's important, not only for us, but for you, to participate and to come forward with any kind of concern, any kind of issue or problem that you have. Please, please let us know. It's also important that you allow us to know the good things that are happening that we may not be aware of. All right? Secondly, I would like to say that to my constituents that I was not aware that one of the ladies that we hired was related to Mr. Sturdivant. I don't know if it slipped by me, what happened, but I was not aware of it. The other thing is I would also like to congratulate all the students that were here tonight. Bravo for doing such great work and keeping up with your life like you're doing, because that's what makes success. And we want to see each and every student succeed, but we need participation from the parents. Don't forget that. We really need your participation. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, am I allowed to say something else?
Why, certainly.
Why, thank you. Dr. Hummer, you had mentioned in your report about the, what was it called? The tailgating.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I was just wondering who were the responsible parties for organizing that tailgating event that was so successful?
So that was our communications department. That was Tara Helkowski, Laura Jarrell, Amy Scott, Lisa Baldwin, as well as a lot of our principals came in to help, and there was a lot of individuals. It was a really successful event.
Excellent. Well, I would like to congratulate all of them. I attended it, and it was such an exceptional turnout that they ran out of several things. They were in line getting haircuts. Dr. Hummer tried to get me to get my haircut. It's not going to happen. But I just want to say that to those people who were there to organize that and behind that, that they did an exceptional job, and they're wonderful hires for our community. Thank you.
Mr. Bell, try harder to get a haircut, please.
Jealous?
All right. No other comments? Well, then I guess it's me. Well, been a lot said this evening. I am who I am. Just a simple old country redneck. Most of you all know that. I am not a perfect man, and I wear my emotions on my sleeve sometimes. And unfortunately, I don't always listen to Dodie Stottlemyre when I just let things roll off my back. And what started this whole shebang here was a Facebook post that someone sent me, basically saying there was a quid pro quo. I did not know that my daughter had applied for this position. And to tell you the God's honest truth, I couldn't even tell you what the name of the position is, but that's neither here nor there. I didn't find out she applied to that position until probably about 3-4 weeks after she applied. I told Dr. Hummer that my daughter had applied, and I told Tara Helkowski that my daughter had applied. And that's as far as I went. I kept my mouth shut because I didn't want somebody coming back saying that I influenced her hiring. I signed an affidavit to the effect, it's called an affidavit.
Conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest, that I had nothing to do with her hiring. Dr. Hummer had signed the same thing. She was hired in May, not July, like was alleged. That is what upset me, that my daughter was attacked when she did absolutely nothing wrong. I did absolutely nothing wrong. Before we left the closed session back there in May to vote on these people getting these jobs, Dr. Hummer told everyone on the board that is Liesl Baldwin is the superintendent's daughter.
Chair's daughter.
Or, I'm sorry, chair's daughter. See, just as, whatever.
Dr. Hummer.
So everyone knew I am 1 vote out of 7. And yes, I was to recuse myself. Apparently I did not. But then again, as I'm getting older, I can't remember why I walked from one room to the other half the time. I can't remember somebody's name from 5 minutes ago. So, like muscle memory, yeah, I voted on it probably. That's what I'm told. But I'm 1 vote of 7. But there was never a quid pro quo. The Sturdivant family is not the Frederick County equivalent of the Biden crime family. There's no deep, dark thing. I didn't benefit from this because I'm not Joe Biden, the big guy. I'm not getting 10% of anything. So nothing was done untoward. Nothing was done behind anybody's back. And when my child got attacked, I lost my temper. Again, not listening to Dodie Stottlemyre. And yes, I made some phone calls because I was irate. And I don't dare say that anyone would not be irate in defending their child as Miss Ludwig was irate defending her child this evening. So am I perfect? No. Are you going to ever model your lifestyle after me? No. I live my life by, or try and live my life by 3 things. Proverbs 12:22, lying lips are an abomination. Luke 9:62, he who having put his hand to the plow and looking back is not fit for the kingdom of God. And 2 Timothy 1:12, I know whom I have believed and am persuaded that he is able to keep that which I've committed unto him against that day. I will not be perfect. I will make mistakes and I will make bad choices, as all of us are. And I don't see any perfect people in this room. And if you are, then I'm sorry. But nothing was done that was illegal or unethical. And Mr. Mulder left. I'm sorry that he left, so you all can tell this to Mr. Mulder. He got up at the Board of Supervisors meeting, basically said I was corrupt and needed to be investigated. Investigate me. You're not going to find anything. There's no proof of any wrongdoing here because it didn't happen. And he also said that I hadn't done anything that I'd promised to do. And we'll go back to the books. If he had read the Winchester Star from, I believe, March and April, I got pilloried in the Winchester Star several times. I was called a kook Christo-fascist on one of the comments for my stance on the books. And when it got to the instructional committee, the last book that I was going after, I was shot down by the instructional committee. I'm only one person. I can only do so much. But to say I didn't do anything that I promised to do, I did. And if the article from the Star a couple weeks ago, again, I want to thank Molly Williams for writing that article. A lot of people came up to me and thanked me that I did not expect to. Is it Lamanna? Mr. Lamanna shook my hand. Mr. Lake, whom I pilloried a couple times while he sat up here, shook my hand. I've looked at the schools. I've been in the schools. That young man that we gave that award to, that's my new hero. That's what it's all about. But I've been in the schools. When we went to the schools on opening day, every school that I visited, I went to 5, I believe, right? Every school without exception was anywhere from 100 to 150 extra students that they weren't planning on. The projections had gone up that much since the end of last school year. And we're not done seeing the increases because there's going to be more coming in by September. Is that correct?
That's typically the trend, yes, sir.
I've looked at the situation and I changed my mind. Yeah, I wasn't on about the 4th high school, but I changed my mind, as most people who are elected to office do. If you're looking for perfection, you're not going to find it. If you're upset because I got mad and made some phone calls, sorry. I lost my temper and I lost my cool. It was ill-advised of me to do so. Again, I didn't listen to Dodian. But when it comes to my family, I'm protective of my family like each and every one of you would be. So if you want to hold that against me, that's fine. But I'm not resigning. And I am the chairman of this board, whether you think I'm deserving of it or not, I am. So that's the explanation of this. It's a bunch of hog hooey. There's no there there. No one, not one person, picked up a phone and called me about this. Not one person emailed me. Some in this crowd have called me over things that they were interested in and wanted me to be on board with. Some people in this crowd have emailed me about other things. Nobody asked me about this. I'd have been glad to tell you. I'd have told you the story, just as I told it here. No one's asked me. I've just been pilloried and accused in a board meeting of being corrupt. I've been a law enforcement officer for 36 years. I think if I was corrupt, I wouldn't have been a law enforcement officer for 36 years. I'm a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. If I was corrupt, I wouldn't be preaching the gospel as I do. That's the explanation of what happened. My daughter got that job on her own merits. She's the educated one in the family, not me. But I had nothing to do with her hiring, and no one on this board was ignorant of the fact that she was my daughter when they voted. That is the whole truth of the matter. If you'd like to talk to me about it further, I'll be glad to tell you. You have a question about what I do, what I say? Come and talk to me. I haven't refused to talk to anybody. That's the way it is. That's my cue to shut up. So that's it in a nutshell. There's no there. So you can use your own opinion on that. But that's the truth. And if you ever have a question, pick up a phone and call me. But nobody picks up a phone to call me. People call me when they want something done. But everybody just wants to believe the rumors, and that's all it was rumor and innuendo. There's no proof. If there were proof, somebody would have laid it on the counter this evening. There's not. So that's the story. And that's where I'm going to end it. So with that said, the next school board meeting is scheduled for September 24th, 2024. There's too many 24s in this year. September 24th, 2024. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn the meeting this evening.
Second.
Okay, we've had a motion and it has been properly seconded. Any discussion? All those signify in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.